All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Los Angeles Rams rookie defensive lineman Braden Fiske. Fiske, of course, is part of that pod with Jared Verse. Verse has been a star player for the Rams defense, and Fiske has had a really nice season in his own right. And we're going to break down some of the latest developments in Fiske's game and how he adds a great dimension to this Rams defense. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with what I call an offensive line's worst nightmare. So on the left side of your screen here, the right side of the Rams defense, we got Verse right here as a stand-up edge rusher. We got Fiske lined up really wide. He normally likes to play a little bit more inside, maybe head up the tackle. This time he's almost a 5 technique on the outside shoulder of the tackle right there. And then we've got Kobe Turner inside right here. So you got 1, 2, 3 really good pass rushers on one side of an offensive line. And I tell you what, if you're an offense, you hate to see this. And what the Rams do here is really smart. So they have Jared Verse do what he does best and just do his outside speed to power rush right here, one-on-one on the offensive tackle. Then they have Kobe Turner and Fiske here run a game. And they have Turner because he's a great player. He's going to draw a lot of attention. They have him work vertically this way and then work this direction to pull the center and get the guard picked off this way. And here, let me clear up the picture for you. Pull the center this way, and then have Fiske loop around just like this. So Turner basically takes care of 74 and 77. Fiske comes around, sacks the quarterback. Great design. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Turner working up the field there, trying to pick 77 and 74. Does a nice job. Great work by Kobe Turner. Jared Verse on the outside doing Jared Verse things. Offensive tackle actually does a pretty decent job. Give some credit to 59 here. But Fiske comes around, sack fumble, game-changing turnover. This is how the Rams are so good. They're so scary, folks, with this defensive line. They're so deep because right here you have 1, 2, 3 offensive linemen trying to handle 1, 2, 3 really good pass rushers. And then when you put in execution, high quality execution of a pass rush game, a stunt like this, there's nothing offensive lines can do. There's nothing any offense can do. And look, we know the Patriots offense, it isn't that good, right? Offensive line issues, rookie quarterback. We all understand that. But there's not an offensive line out there that can handle this, folks. And if the Rams can be more consistent on offense, if they can avoid the injury bug at wide receiver and stay healthy, there's not a reason to think that the Rams defense won't be able to wreak havoc on anybody because there's no offensive line, not even like the Detroit Lions, one of the better offensive lines, probably the best offensive line in football that can handle Kobe Turner taking up the center and the left guard. Verse, he's going to draw the left tackle. And then you have Fiske coming around. What are you going to do right here in this situation? Are you going to have the right guard in this situation look for Fiske? In that case, who's going to pick up 97? Then you're just going to fire 97. Then, of course, you have Young on that side. This is a pick your poison offensive worst nightmare alignment like this, execution like this. This Rams defense is going to be really tough to handle, and Fiske is a big reason why.
Yeah, and again, if we look at what Fiske has been doing this year, he's been on one game, off one game when it comes to different aspects of his game. Been a lot of back and forth. You look at this game, this is the most consistent game he has had all year. Not his highest overall grade, second highest to be exact, 76.4 defensive grade for Fiske overall. And then green across the board, whether it was run defense, tackling, or pass rush. He was really good at everything this game. I love to see him put it all together, and it's going to be really, really key player for the Rams going down the stretch.
All right, you talk about consistency. Let's talk about consistency in the run game. There's Fiske right there lined up in what we call a two-eye technique. Two-eye is on the inside shoulder of the guard right there. The Patriots are going to run a standard inside zone concept that everyone runs in the NFL. They're going to have the tackle work this way to base this direction. 71 is going to base Kobe Turner. We're going to get a zone step here from the center, work him to the next level, either to work up to Kobe Turner or the linebacker, whoever flashes in his gap. The left guard right here for the Patriots is going to try and base and reach Fiske. The tackle is going to work up to the next level. They're going to take the tight end, and he's going to come across the formation to block Young right there on the right side of your screen. And the running back's just going to work this way and try and cut back, find a hole wherever he can. This is a great, like when I say great, this is a perfect example of run defense right here for Fiske. He does a great job maintaining his gap, right? He's an A-gapper player. He's got this gap responsibility right here. You can see by alignment. He does a great job maintaining his gap, but also coming off and making the tackle. Phenomenal work from 55. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the tight end coming across right there to get on number 8. You can see everyone from the Patriots offensive line taking a step to their right, the left side of your screen, getting hats on hats there. Let's watch Fisk right here because this is absolutely perfect. So he reads it right away. Look at that base. He's right in the gap. He's got his arms extended. You see how his head is to the inside of the guard. He maintains perfect leverage this entire time. So at the beginning of the play right here, he's an A gap defender, right? This gap between the center and the left guard right here. His head's to the inside of the guard. And throughout it all, he keeps his head to the inside of the guard. He's got his hands extended. Folks, that's just perfect. You see how he maintains that leverage the entire time? And then when the running back makes his move, what does Fisk do? He comes off and makes a tackle. Picture perfect technique tape stuff, right? This is stuff, right, in college where you do this against 1AA FCS opponents, right? Teams that aren't very good. This is in the NFL. You don't see technique and dominance this much, right? You don't see this often, especially from rookies. This is absolutely perfect, right? And look, we know Aaron Donald, defensive lineman for so many years, he was a destructive force. But Fisk brings another level. Him and Kobe Turner, they're both very technically sound. They're not as dominant as Donald, obviously so. Aaron Donald was special, but they have great technique, great fundamentals. Even Aaron Donald, look at that base, look at that extension. The coaching in Los Angeles is absolutely phenomenal. But as good as the coaching has been, you need players that can handle the coaching and make the play. And Fisk does it right here. Great work from 55. All right, from the wide copy right here, watch him engage in lockout. You see how his arm extends? Look how there is no new line of scrimmage. The base blocks on Turner, on Fisk are right on the line of scrimmage. There's no movement at all, and then Fisk is able to come off and make the tackle. Perfect stuff here from 55. I love how, watch the running back's path. He wants to work kind of to the right of the hash, a little upward of the hash right here. You see his initial path right here, and then he sees right here Fisk's head. He's like, okay, I need to jump inside. And then Fisk comes off and makes a tackle. This is just stuff where offense doesn't have any answer for, right? We talked about in the first play, the pass rushing ability and offensive lineman's worst nightmare, their alignment and their talent, the Rams brings. But I tell you what, when you look at Fisk, just technique and physical dominance, there's no offensive line that can handle this as well. This is scary good stuff from 55, and it proves once again that this Rams defense is for real. All right, so now the Rams are getting really funky with their strategy here. So you can see they've got Verse right here on the left side of your screen, the right side of the defense, paired with Young as well in a traditional edge rusher role versus inside. It's kind of a wide three technique. We got Kobe Turnover here in a two-line technique. We got 97 Heck lined up right over there walking up. And here we have Fisk, right? A defensive lineman. You think of more as an interior guy, but he's actually lined up in a really wide five technique. This is really interesting stuff here for the Los Angeles Rams. Now, normally what happens in this situation is they have the offensive line slide to this three-man group right here. You see these three guys over here. Then you get one-on-one on the backside with one-on-one, left tackle, left guard. Here's the problem, though. Over the course of a game, you have one-on-one left guard on Jared Verse. That's going to be a disaster. So in this situation, the Patriots actually they actually run the one-on-one scheme. They actually do a decent enough job blocking it up, but long-term, that would not work out for them. But regardless of that, so what happens here, the Patriots slide the protection right here to the right. So what do the Rams do with the protection sliding? They take Kobe Turner, and again, he pulls the center this way, has 97 threatened, and has Fisk, an interior defensive lineman, work all the way around to get pressure on Drake May. There's not very many. I know I say interior defensive lineman. I know he's not like a nose guard or anything, but still, there's not a lot of guys that I would call more traditional three technique, 4-eye, kind of old school 3-4 defensive end kind of players that have the athleticism like this to be a wide five technique and come around as well. He's a special player, number 55. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see one-on-one on the left side right there. The offensive line on the right, center right guard, right tackle, taking a gap to their right. Watch Kobe Turner. He's so good at this. He gets into the center and then works wide. You see how he gets some width? So he pulls the center, not by holding, but just pulls him a little bit to the right, allows Fisk to come around, pressure on the quarterback, plus out of the pocket, short gain, almost fumbles at the end of it too. This is where the Rams defense is ridiculous because the Patriots offensive line, they actually do a great job, right? 74, a left guard, one-on-one on a defensive end, blocks him up. They block up Young there, right? They do a great job on the left side of the line. How about right here, right tackle? Right guard, decent enough job on 97, right? The center blocks Kobe Turner a little bit right there, right? They at least flush Kobe Turner there a minute, right? So you talk about offensive line-wise, this isn't terrible execution by the Patriots, but it's just a better plan and better talent by the Rams. And this is what I'm talking about, how they're just such a matchup nightmare because there's no offensive line in the NFL where if you're a center, you're like, okay, you've got to block Kobe Turner, make sure he doesn't kill the quarterback. Oh, you also have to react quickly because you got an interior defensive lineman with elite speed coming around as well. There is no answer to this, folks. And even if you do all of this perfect, by the way, right here, even in, let's say, 77 is able to come off on 55, you think a left guard's going to hold Jared Verse all game long? Absolutely not. This is how the Rams are so tough, guys. It's because they offer matchup nightmares with strategy and talent across the board, play in and play out. And Braden Fiske versatility and athleticism is a big reason why.
Yeah, Nick, and a big thing that you kicked on here, the versatility, the matchup nightmare of all of these Rams defenders. You look across this line, you see Jared Verse, elite pass rusher. You see Kobe Turner, elite interior pass rusher. You see Byron Young, another guy, elite pass rusher. What do you get when you add Braden Fisk to that list? He is becoming a very solid pass rusher for this Rams team. Again, doubling his sack total in this game, the 2 sacks here, 3 total pressures, doing a really big 71.8 pass rushing grade. Just overall, with Braden Fisk coming into his own, like you said, typically an interior defensive line type of guy, but when he's getting this pass rush prowess building up, this Rams front grouping, whether you talk about their edge rushers, you talk about their interior defensive linemen, when 4 of those guys all can rush the passer, you're gonna get some really big results.
All right, let's talk about the little things next. There's Fisk lined up right there. We're going to call it a 2-eye technique. He's on the inside shoulder of the guard right there, the left guard. If he was, let's say, on the outside shoulder of the center, we may call this a 1 technique or a shade, but regardless, he's an A-gap defender right there. And here the Patriots, they're going to run an inside zone concept, trying to attack this natural bubble right here, this hole that they think is open in this Rams defense. So what they're going to do, they're going to have the left tackle try and base right here, the edge rusher. They're going to have 74 take a zone step this way, then work up to the next level. They're then going to have the center and the backside guard responsible for Fisk and the backside linebacker, and they're going to have the backside tackle cut off the backside 3 technique right here. So if you look at how this play is supposed to go for the Patriots, you're supposed to get helmet here, and then these guys here, and then these guys here, or you're going to get this guy here, and then the center working up right here. So that's basically the concept. You want to get a seal here, and then get these guys up here and get a seal there. Then the running back hit it just like that. That's the idea. Now, how you blow it up as a defender is you make sure one of these offensive linemen, or none of these offensive linemen, can get up to the backside linebacker, and then he gets a free run. This is an example of perfect interior run defense by Fisk. He occupies both players. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see they're running the inside zone right there to the left side of your screen, left side of the offense. You can see Verse jumps inside, completely blows up the play right there. He's a great player, 74, working up to the next level. So right there, that's pretty good. Let's focus on Fisk right here because this is kind of an under-the-radar play. So he jumps inside right there. He swims inside the center. Because he jumps inside so fast and so quickly, notice how far 77 has to turn back inside. The backside linebacker already is past him. Right there, just like this. This is 56. This is who 77 is supposed to work up to. By the time he turns his head, look where 56 is. He's 4 yards, 5 yards beyond 77. And that's what athleticism and talent and little things can bring you as a defense. Because right here, 56 ends up being the guy that cleans up and makes a play. Now, 39 grabs the face mask. That's not great. But the backside linebacker, 56, he's the guy that blows the play up and finishes it off for a big loss for the Patriots offense, big win for the Rams defense. And he only gets there because Fisk occupies both offensive linemen. 71 eventually gets over, and then here's one thing I really like too. Fisk keeps working. He ends up falling down and creating a pile. Let's go back to where the play originally started. He's about 2 yards to the right of this hash. Look where Fisk ends up where it's all said and done. About 2 yards to the left of the hash. So he still did a good enough job staying with the running game movement. If there was a chance the running back headed back that direction, he at least created a pile. So not only did he occupy 2 offensive linemen and let his backside linebacker run free, he also helped create a pile if the running back had to cut back that far. This is little things, right? It didn't show up in the broadcast. You're not going to have people talk about it, in terms of making the highlight films on Mondays, Tuesdays. But plays like this go a long way in the run defense, and it's a great sign for this defense and Fisk's future.
Yeah, Nick, when we talk about run defense, I think this is a key here for Fisk. This is his best run defense game all season. He's been up and down, as far as run defense grades go. He's not necessarily a top tier run defense guy, such as of yet. But this game in particular versus this Patriots team, he was off the charts. He got a 67 run defense grade, doing a lot of really, really good things here. So I think overall, again, we go back to the first comments I've made through the pass rushing, through the run defense. We see the complete picture here. This was Braden Fiske coming out and putting together a complete game. I think we saw him do some of his best work and put in great performances in every aspect of the defensive game. Again, Braden Fiske looks really nice and is going to be a big contributor for them going forward.
All right, going back to the Dolphins game, I want to bring back this play because I think it was so good. And again, it wasn't talked about. Little things once again. There's Fisk right there, lined up in a head up. I'll call it maybe a 4-eye, inside eye on the tackle here for the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins are going to bring a wide receiver in motion right here to get some attempted movement from the linebackers. They're going to run a toss action this way, but the fullback is actually going to cut back and block the man line of scrimmage. They're going to try and just get a lot of movement like this to get everyone flowing, and then have the running back cut back behind everybody just like this. This means that right here, Fisk has to do a phenomenal job. It's a big opportunity. He cannot get washed down inside. He has to basically do a great job maintaining his gap responsibility while also constricting the hole, because he knows that 81 is going to come here and cut somebody, which means there's going to be a natural edge to the defense here. He needs to make sure he doesn't get blown outside the edge. He needs to make sure he maintains good gap integrity and blow up the play. You talk about fundamental football. This is perfect stuff. Let's check it out. All right, there's the motion across the formation. There's a toss right there. It kind of looks like it's going to be a toss to the left side of your screen there, but you can see 81 cutting back. This is where the Dolphins are trying to run right here, right up the hash. Let's watch Braden Fiske and the way he plays this, right? So right here, the number 70 offense line, he's trying to reach him and try and throw him down inside. Fiske uses his arm and forces 70's butt in the hole just like this. And right here, you're dead as an offense. What you're trying to do here, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you're trying to get Fiske cut off and reached. You want, if you're this offensive lineman at Fiske, to be no further inside this hash right here. Watch where Fiske ends up, about 2 yards inside the hash. Blows up the play. Love that holding on Kobe Turner, by the way. Good Lord Almighty. That's a good job by that offensive lineman. Jeez. But I tell you what, this is fundamental football at its finest, because right here, the running back is dead in the water. He's got nowhere to go. The only thing he can do is just duck his head inside and try and get a half yard or so. And it's all because of Fiske. Now, look, Verse, good job. He ends up making the tackle. Jared Verse is a really good player. Good job by him, right? How about 97, playing off the cut? Pretty good. 56, filling as well. Good team defense across the board. But you only get there when you have defensive linemen that are doing the dirty work. We know Fiske has had the ability and the athleticism to make plays in the pass rush game where it's a little sexier. But I tell you what, when it comes to doing the nasty in the trenches stuff like this, getting offensive linemen, driving them into the hole, constricting the hole just like he did here, perfect from 55, and it's a big reason why the Rams are so good. All right, let's end on another big win for Fiske. There he is right there on the right side of your screen. So we've talked about 55's fundamentals. We talked about his technique. We talked about his athleticism. We've talked about his versatility. But here's the thing, folks. He also has that motor and that drive and that competitiveness you want to see from defensive linemen as well. This is going to be just standard pass rushing stuff for Fiske. He's just going to do a normal outside rush. No game before. We've seen earlier on this cut up, right? Kobe Turner working this way and Fiske jumping across just like this. Not in this case. It's just standard, normal stuff right here on this side of the defense. And Fiske right here, he gets blocked up, right? 75, he's an NFL offensive lineman too. Fiske doesn't make the play initially and really gets kind of stymied right around here. But he keeps working, keeps driving, and he ends up making the sack. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We get a little play action game. We can see right here, nothing special right there. Kobe Turner blocked up inside, double team him. Hey, that's pretty smart by the Patriots. 75 doing a good job on Fiske. Right here, 97 beats the left tackle, so they get a little pressure that way. But overall, Patriots offensive line does a decent job here, right? NFL guys, they make plays too. Fiske, not doing a great job, right? He's got an outside contain, so not terrible, but he's not doing a great job getting pressure. But here's the thing. He just keeps fighting, keeps working, circles back, makes a sack. Fundamental football, we talked about. Athleticism, we talked about. How about motor? How about drive? How about not stopping your feet? I know it sounds cliche, but I can't tell you how many times I watch young defensive linemen kind of stop their feet when they get beat a little bit. I'll give you a good example of this. And I want to pick on Jared Verse because he's a great player, but watch 8 right here. So he kind of just stops a little bit, and I get the play's 15 yards away. I understand that. I'm not trying to pick on him too much. But there's a difference between what 8's doing here and what 55's doing. 8's like, oh, I got blocked. I got to stop. 55, his mentality is, I got blocked. I'm going to retrace my steps and make the play. It is that kind of stuff that makes me really excited about Braden Fiske's future. We know he's a good playmaker. We know he's got good fundamentals. We know he's a tough guy, can play the run, rush the passer, you name it, stunts, games, edge rusher. He can do it all. But he also has that elite level motor, that elite level competitiveness, the desire. And I think that's what separates him from a lot of young players.